taken aback by the originality of the legal and financial strategies described in these pages, and inspired by the hope they represent. This is a transformative journey of a truly visionary thinker, leading us all to a wide, open door. March 2015. Acknowledgements. When I first sat down to write the acknowledgements for this book, I was a bit overwhelmed. There are so many people to thank for helping in so many different ways. There are those who encouraged me and assisted me directly in the writing process. There are those who have fought alongside me and who have made important individual contributions to our common struggle. And there are those who are part of organizations that have believed enough in my work to help me along the way. Unfortunately, I do not have nearly the space I would need to thank all of the people in these three groups, but I would like to mention at least a few of them here. Those most directly involved in getting the book project launched were Grand Chief Ron Derrickson and Naomi Klein. It was Naomi who first suggested, even gently insisted, that I pull together the ideas I had been promoting in British Columbia, in Canada, and internationally in book form. And she was duly punished for this by having to write the foreword, which she has done, as she does everything, with great generosity and wit. Grand Chief Derrickson had echoed Naomi's call for a book and offered to participate in the project as an advisor. He contributed greatly to this book in every way, including by writing the afterword. In fact, Grand Chief Derrickson has been part of the formulation of the ideas in this book from the time we led the BC Interior peoples into the forest in the Indian Logging Initiative in 1999. At the time, I was the Chief of Nisconlith, Chair of the Shuswap Nation Tribal Council, and spokesperson of the Interior Alliance of BC. It was in the aftermath of that action that I developed the Indigenous Network on Economies and Trade, and Grand Chief Derrickson has continued to offer his leadership, support, and unique insights along the way. I began work on the book almost 3 years ago, and I have been given invaluable assistance in shaping the manuscript by Peter McFarlane, a writer and friend. Nicole Shabbos provided crucial input during the editorial process, with her contribution, as with so much else. She is in a class by herself. My life partner, Nicole, was also a leading contributor, through her legal training and brilliant insights, in the formulation of many of these ideas. And as you see in the book, she has been at my side throughout the international struggle with NAFTA and the WTO. I would be remiss not to acknowledge how both my parents imprinted on me a deep belief in the nationhood of our people. My late father, Grand Chief George Manuel, taught me about politics but would also call on me as a young person to speak at every meeting, appreciating the energy of our youth. My mother, Marceline, carried the heavy burden of supporting our family through the movement and stood on the front lines. My siblings share in much of the same burden and carry the same strength, from my late brother Robert and sister Vera, to Emmeline, Richard, and Doreen, to the youngest Martha, George, Ida, and Ara, who are following in the footsteps of our parents. I also want to mention important contributors to our struggle whom we have lost. I still hear the booming voice of Irene Billy, 1928 to 2011, ringing in my ears, reminding us not to sleep on our rights. I remember the knowledge shared by Dr. Mary Thomas and Colleen McCrory. I miss my friend, Quatsinas, Ed Moody. Nooksack strong, Nooksack forever. And I think about young leaders we lost far too early, Ethan Baptiste and my dear son, Neski Manuel. Another person in a class by himself is my Mohawk friend, Russell Daibo, who has never wavered in his commitment to Indigenous rights and Indigenous nationhood. It has been a pleasure to work with him over the years, and virtually all of the ideas discussed here were also discussed with him, or published in his strategic bulletin. Between me and Russell and our dear friend David Nawagabo, LLB, and Anishinaabeg from Whitefish River, we have spent decades fighting to change the federal comprehensive claims policy, with the important contributions of Algonquin Chief Harry St. Denis of Wolf Lake and former Chief Jean-Maurice Poncho Machuan from Barrier Lake. I would also like to thank Chief Donnie Morris and Sam McKay from Kitchener-Mekusib in Nunavut, who have also inspired us all. I want to mention some of my partners and friends from my early political life who will remain friends.